Have you ever wondered if the change sitting in your pocket could be worth a life-changing amount of money? What if I told you that one ordinary-looking nickel from 1961 is sold for as much as $1.9 million? That's right, a 5-cent coin that most people overlook could actually be a rare treasure. In this video, we'll uncover the incredible story behind the 1961 Jefferson nickel, explore its history, reveal why some of them are worth so much, and show you exactly what to look for in your own coins. Rarest coins. Let's begin with a little background. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel. Its design was created by Felix Schlag, who won a national competition to honor America's third president, Thomas Jefferson. On the front, we see a portrait of Jefferson facing left, and on the back, the beautiful image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. This design became one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history and continued for decades with only minor changes. Now fast forward to 1961. During that year, the United States Mint produced Jefferson nickels at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while those from the Denver mint carry a small D to the right of Monticello on the reverse side. More than 370 million coins were struck that year, which sounds like a huge number. So how could one of these be worth millions? The answer lies in rare varieties, minting errors, and condition. When it comes to Jefferson nickels, one of the most important features collectors look for is the detail on Monticello's steps. These are known as full steps. On most nickels, especially from the early 1960s, the steps appear weak or worn because the dies used to strike them weren't always in perfect condition. However, a very small number of coins were struck so sharply that all 5 or 6 steps on Monticello are fully visible. These full-step nickels are extremely rare and can be worth a lot of money. In fact, one 1961 D. Jefferson nickel with full steps in flawless mint state condition was graded by experts as nearly perfect and later sold for an unbelievable $1.9 million at auction. The coin was so sharp, so perfectly preserved, and so rare that collectors were willing to pay that incredible price to own it. It's considered one of the finest Jefferson nickels ever struck. But the value doesn't only come from the full steps variety. There are also a few error coins from 1961 that have gained serious attention. Some were struck off-center, meaning the design is shifted and part of the coin is blank. Others show doubling on the date or lettering, known as double die errors. There are even a few rare examples of nickels that were struck on the wrong type of planchet. For example, a planchet meant for a dime. These rare mint mistakes can make a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even more depending on its condition and rarity. Now, how can you tell if your 1961 Jefferson nickel might be valuable? Start by checking the mint mark. If you see a small D to the right of Monticello, you have the Denver mint version, which includes some of the most valuable examples. Next, look carefully at the steps on Monticello. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. If you can clearly see all 5 or 6 steps without any major breaks or fading, you might be holding a rare full steps coin. Then, look at the overall condition. A shiny, uncirculated coin with no scratches or where will always be worth more. If you think your coin could be rare, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can make all the difference in determining its value. Even regular 1961 nickels in mint condition can sell for anywhere from $10 to $50, depending on their grade. But those perfect full steps examples or rare minting errors are what bring in the big money, sometimes tens of thousands, and in that one remarkable case, nearly $2 million. The 1961 Jefferson nickel may not look like much at first glance, but it represents an important piece of American history. It tells the story of an era of craftsmanship, design, and minting precision that coin collectors treasure today. Every time you look at your change, you could be holding a small piece of that history, and possibly a hidden fortune. Next time you empty your pockets or check your old coin jar, take a closer look at those nickels. Check the date, look for the D mint mark, and pay attention to the steps on Monticello. Who knows? You might be the next person to discover a rare 1961 Jefferson nickel worth a life-changing amount of money. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the 1961 Jefferson nickel and other rare coins that could be worth a fortune, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos on valuable coins. Share this with your friends and family so they can check their nickels too. You never know, one of you might be sitting on the next $1 million coin. Would you like me to write a short viral version of this script for a 1-minute YouTube short with a catchy hook and fast pacing? Have you ever thought that a simple 5-cent coin sitting in your pocket could be worth over $1 million? It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. One rare 1978 Jefferson nickel has reportedly sold for as much as $1.6 million, and it's a story that has coin collectors and treasure hunters everywhere checking their change. Today we're going to take a closer look at the 1978 Jefferson nickel, its history, its value, and what makes certain versions of this coin so incredibly rare and valuable. Let's begin with a little history. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the beloved Buffalo nickel. The U.S. Mint held a public design competition, and the winner was Felix Schlag, whose portrait of President Thomas Jefferson became one of the most iconic designs in American coinage. On the front of the coin is Jefferson's portrait, and on the back is Monticello, his home in Virginia. For decades, this design remained largely unchanged, making it one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. By 1978, the Jefferson nickel had already been in production for 40 years. The 1978 nickels were minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins with no mint mark, the Denver Mint used the letter D, and the San Francisco Mint made proof coins with the letter S. All 3 versions are interesting to collectors, but some of them hold secrets that have turned a few ordinary nickels into legendary finds. Now, let's talk about the $1 million story. Among all the millions of 1978 Jefferson nickels struck, one extraordinary coin stands out, a rare mint error that has stunned experts and collectors alike. This particular 1978 nickel was accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchet. Instead of being made from the usual copper-nickel alloy, it was struck on a silver planchet, something that should not have been possible in 1978. Somehow, a leftover silver blank from an earlier coin run ended up in the minting press, and the result was a one-of-a-kind coin. When this rare error coin was discovered and verified by professional graders, it turned out to be in near-perfect condition, uncirculated, with sharp details and brilliant luster. It was authenticated as a genuine mint error, and when it was auctioned, collectors went into a frenzy. The final hammer price shocked everyone: $1.6 million for a nickel that originally cost 5 cents. That sale turned the 1978 Jefferson nickel into one of the most talked-about modern coins in U.S. history. But that's not the only way a 1978 Jefferson nickel can be valuable. Even ordinary coins from that year can fetch impressive prices if they have certain features or are in top condition. For example, nickels with full steps on the Monticello design are highly sought after by collectors. The steps on Monticello are one of the hardest details to strike clearly. A coin with 5 or 6 fully visible steps, no breaks, and strong definition is called a full steps nickel, and these can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition. Another type of valuable 1978 nickel is one with a double die error. This happens when the coin is struck by a die that has a slightly shifted or doubled design, creating a shadow effect on the lettering or the date. A double die on the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or on the date 1978 can significantly increase the coin's value. There are also off-center strike errors, where the design is misaligned, and clipped planchets, where a small piece of the coin's edge is missing. These kinds of minting mistakes are highly collectible and can sell for substantial amounts of money. So, how can you tell if your 1978 Jefferson nickel is worth anything? Start by checking the date and mint mark. If you have a 1978 nickel with no letter, it was made in Philadelphia. A D means it was made in Denver, and an S means it's a San Francisco proof coin. Then, look at the back of the coin. Study the steps of Monticello closely. If you can count 5 or 6 perfectly defined steps without any breaks or flattening, you might have a full steps coin. Also, check for any unusual details, doubling on the lettering, off-center strikes, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. If you think your coin looks different or is in unusually good condition, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its surface and destroy its value. Instead, keep it safe and take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate it and tell you whether it's a valuable variety or a rare error. The 1978 Jefferson nickel is a perfect reminder that treasures can still be found in everyday life. It shows that even modern coins can have rare mistakes or perfect strikes that make them worth far more than their face value. From a simple 5-cent coin to one that sold for $1.6 million, this nickel story inspires coin collectors and everyday people alike to look a little closer at the change in their pockets to own next time you get some change. Take a moment to look carefully at those nickels. Check the date, look for the mint mark, and pay attention to the small details. You never know what you might find. That little coin you've been ignoring could be the one that changes your life. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the 1978 Jefferson nickel and other rare and valuable coins that could be worth a fortune, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Share this video with your friends and family so they can check their coins too, because one simple nickel could be hiding a $1 million secret. Would you like me to write a 1-minute short version of this with a quick hook and faster pacing for YouTube Shorts or TikTok format? Have you ever wondered if the coins sitting in your pocket or coin jar could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're talking about a coin that looks completely ordinary but could be hiding a massive secret, the 1987 P. Jefferson nickel. Believe it or not, one of these nickels has been reported to sell for as much as $1.4 million because of an extremely rare minting error and perfect condition. So grab your coins and let's uncover the story, the history, and what makes this nickel so valuable. Let's begin with a little background. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, whose design won a national competition. The front of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the back displays his famous Virginia home, Monticello. This design became one of the longest-running in U.S. coin history and remains a favorite among collectors. Now fast forward to 1987. That year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels across its 3 main mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins can be identified by the small letter P on the right side of Monticello on the reverse. Normally, a 1987 P nickel would be worth just 5 cents, maybe a little more if it's in uncirculated or mint condition. But as with many coins, mistakes during the minting process can turn an ordinary nickel into an extraordinary discovery. So what happened in 1987 that made certain nickels so valuable? The story centers around a rare minting error that created a one-of-a-kind coin. One famous example is a 1987 P. Jefferson nickel that was struck on the wrong planchet, a coin blank intended for another denomination, possibly a dime or even a foreign coin. This kind of error is incredibly rare because the mint has multiple quality control checks designed to prevent such mistakes. However, when one slips through the cracks, it becomes a collector's dream. When this particular 1987 P. error nickel was authenticated by professional grading experts, it shocked the numismatic community. It wasn't just struck on the wrong planchet. It also had razor-sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and was preserved in perfect condition. Because of its uniqueness and pristine state, collectors went into a bidding frenzy when it appeared at auction. Reports suggest it reached an astonishing price of around $1.4 million. Making it one of the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever known. But even if you don't have that exact coin, there are still other valuable varieties and errors to look for in your 1987 nickels. Some have double die errors, where the lettering, date, or design looks slightly doubled. Others show off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because it was stamped incorrectly. There are also nickels that were weakly struck or have partial steps on Monticello, which can affect their collectible value. A full-step 1987 P nickel in mint state condition can easily sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its grade and luster. The 1987 P. Jefferson nickel also has an interesting place in U.S. coin history because it came during a time when the mint was transitioning its machinery and refining its production processes. Minor differences in the metal composition, die polishing, and strike pressure created small variations that collectors today find fascinating. Each little difference tells a story of how these coins were made and how some extraordinary mistakes slipped into circulation. So how can you tell if your 1987 P. Jefferson nickel might be valuable? First, Check the mint mark on the reverse of the coin, right next to Monticello. If you see the letter P, you're holding a Philadelphia Mint coin. Next, look closely at the details. Are there doubling marks on Jefferson's eye, the date, or the lettering? Is the design off-center or unusually shiny? And finally, check the steps on Monticello. The more visible and complete they are, the higher the grade and value. If you think you've found something special, don't clean the coin. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for official evaluation. Even a small discovery can turn into something big. Some people have found rare Jefferson nickels and pocket change worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And while most 1987 P nickels are common, a few rare ones have become legends among collectors. The idea that a 5-cent coin could be worth over $1 million shows why coin collecting remains one of the most exciting hobbies out there. So the next time you get change at the store or sort through an old coin jar, keep an eye out for the 1987 P. Jefferson nickel. It might look like an ordinary coin, but it could be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. One small coin could change your life forever. If you enjoyed learning about the 1987 P. Jefferson nickel and its incredible story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos about rare and valuable coins. Share this video with your friends and family so they can check their coins too. You never know, one of you might be holding the next $1 million nickel. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Would you like me to make a shorter, high-engagement YouTube Shorts version of this same topic, about 60 seconds long, with a viral-style hook? Have you ever looked at your spare change and wondered if one of those ordinary-looking coins could actually be worth a fortune? Well, you might want to take a closer look at your nickels, because a 1984 P. Jefferson nickel has made headlines for being worth an unbelievable $1.4 million. That's right, a 5-cent coin that could make you rich if you happen to find one of the rare examples. Rarest coins today, we're diving deep into the story, the history, and what makes this 1984 P. nickel so valuable. Let's start with a little history. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag. It replaced the Buffalo nickel and became one of America's most iconic coins. The front of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the back showcases his Virginia home, Monticello. This classic design remained on U.S. nickels for more than 60 years and is still one of the most recognizable in the history of American coinage. Now, let's move to the year 1984. The Philadelphia Mint, which is represented by the letter P on the right side of Monticello, produced millions of Jefferson nickels that year. At first glance, these coins look ordinary and seem like they wouldn't be worth more than 5 cents. But as collectors know, even among millions of coins, there are rare mistakes and perfect examples that can make one coin stand out from the rest, and in some cases, make it worth a life-changing amount of money. The 1984 P. Jefferson nickel became famous because of one extraordinary error coin that was discovered. This coin was accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchet, meaning it wasn't made with the usual copper-nickel composition. Instead, it was struck on a silver planchet, a type of blank metal that should never have been used for nickels in 1984. How did this happen? It's believed that a leftover silver planchet from a previous minting operation somehow got mixed into the batch of nickel blanks at the Philadelphia Mint. When the coin was struck, it created a one-of-a-kind piece that was unlike anything else made that year. When this coin was discovered and authenticated by professional graders, it stunned the numismatic world. It was in near-perfect mint state condition, meaning it had never been circulated and still had its original shine. The error was so rare and the condition so flawless that collectors went into a bidding war when it appeared at auction. The final sale price reached an incredible $1.4 million, making it one of the most valuable modern nickels ever sold. But that's not the only version of the 1984 P. Jefferson nickel that can be worth serious money. Even without the silver planchet error, some coins from that year are highly collectible. There are examples with double die errors, where parts of the design, such as the lettering, the date, or Jefferson's eye, appear slightly doubled under magnification. These double-die nickels can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their clarity and condition. There are also off-center strike errors, where the design is misaligned, and full steps nickels, where the steps of Monticello on the reverse are sharply and fully defined. Collectors pay a premium for full steps Jefferson nickels because they are rare and difficult to find in high-grade condition. During the 1980s, the minting equipment often produced weakly struck coins, meaning the steps on Monticello were not clear or complete. So if you find a 1984 P nickel that shows 5 or 6 clear, distinct steps on Monticello, that coin could be worth a lot of money, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So how can you tell if your 1984 P nickel might be valuable? Start by checking the mint mark. The letter P is located to the right of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. Then, take a good look at the details. If your coin has strong, sharp lines and a clear shine, it may be in uncirculated or mint condition. Check for doubling on the lettering or date, and examine the edges of the steps on Monticello to see if they are complete. If the coin feels a little lighter or has a slightly different color, it could even be a wrong planchet error, one of the rarest and most valuable types. If you think you've found something special, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can damage its surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professionally graded and certified coin can sell for far more than one that hasn't been authenticated. The story of the 1984 P. Jefferson nickel is a perfect reminder that valuable treasures can be hiding right in plain sight. It shows that even modern coins can have mistakes or variations that turn them into rare collectibles worth a fortune. From a simple 5-cent coin to one that sold for $1.4 million, the 1984 P nickel has earned its place among the most fascinating finds in U.S. coin history. So next time you get change at the store or go through your old coin jar, take a moment to check those nickels. Look for the date 1984 and the P mint mark. You might just find a hidden gem worth far more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed learning about the 1984 P. Jefferson nickel and other rare coins that could be worth a fortune, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Share this video with your friends and family so they can check their coins too. Your next big discovery might be sitting right in your pocket, and it could be worth $1.4 million. Would you like me to write a shorter 1-minute YouTube Shorts version of this script with a powerful opening hook to grab attention right away? Have you ever wondered if that little 5-cent coin in your pocket could be worth a small fortune? What if I told you that one ordinary-looking nickel from 1989 has been valued at an incredible $1.3 million? That's right, a simple Jefferson nickel with a Philadelphia mint mark that could change your life if you happen to find one of these rare examples. In today's video, we're going to explore the fascinating history of the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel, why certain ones are worth so much, and exactly what you should be looking for. Let's start with the background. The Jefferson nickel has been an American classic since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design was created by Felix Schlag, who won a national contest to create the new 5-cent piece. On the front, it features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and on the back, his Virginia home, Monticello. This design remained largely unchanged for more than 60 years and became one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. Now let's move to the year 1989. The United States Mint produced Jefferson nickels at several locations that year, but the one we're focusing on today is the 1989 P, which was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. You can identify it by the small letter P found on the right side of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. Millions of these nickels were made, so at first glance, it seems like a common coin. But as we've seen throughout coin history, even among millions of coins, one small mistake can create something extremely valuable. Oh, how could a 1989 P. Jefferson nickel be worth $1.3 million? It all comes down to minting errors, unique die varieties, and perfect condition. One of the most famous 1989 P. nickels ever discovered was struck on the wrong planchet. Instead of the standard copper-nickel planchet used for nickels, it was accidentally struck on a planchet mint for a silver dime. This kind of error should never happen, but every once in a while, a leftover blank from another coin run finds its way into the wrong press. Because of its rarity, composition, and flawless strike, this particular 1989 P. error nickel became one of a kind. When it was authenticated and graded by professionals, it reached a shocking auction value of $1.3 million. Even if you don't have that exact coin, other 1989 P nickels can still be worth a good amount depending on their condition and features. Collectors pay close attention to coins that show doubling in the lettering, known as double die errors. These coins show subtle doubling on the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date itself. There are also off-center strike errors, where part of the design is missing because the coin wasn't perfectly aligned when it was struck. Any of these rare mistakes can make your coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another thing to look for is the quality of the strike. Jefferson nickels with what collectors call full steps on Monticello are highly sought after. These are coins where all the steps on the front of Jefferson's home are clearly defined, sharp, and unbroken. In 1989, it was difficult to get perfectly struck nickels because of worn dies and production speed, so finding one with full steps in mint state condition is extremely rare. A 1989 P nickel with full steps can easily sell for hundreds of dollars, and if it's flawless, possibly thousands. So how can you tell if your 1989 P nickel might be worth serious money? First, flip the coin over and check for the P mint mark next to Monticello. Then look closely at the details on the steps. If you can clearly see 5 or 6 full, separate steps without any wear, that's a very good sign. Next, check for any doubling in the lettering or date. If the coin looks slightly thicker or has a shadow-like effect on the text, it might be a double die error. Finally, check the overall condition. Uncirculated coins with shiny, mirror-like surfaces are worth far more than worn coins. If you suspect your coin is rare or in mint condition, don't clean it and don't handle it too much. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to have it authenticated. The 1989 P. Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how an ordinary coin can become an extraordinary discovery. Most people would never expect a coin from the late 1980s to be worth over $1 million, but it shows that treasures can still be found in modern change. Whether it's an unusual error, a perfectly struck full steps example, or a coin that's been preserved flawlessly since the day it was minted, these are the kinds of finds that keep collectors searching. So the next time you get change at the store, take a moment to look closely at your nickels. Check the date, look for the P mint mark, and pay attention to the fine details on Monticello. You might be surprised by what you find. Who knows? Your next nickel could be the one worth $1.3 million. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel and other rare coins that could be worth a fortune, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss one of our future uploads. Share this video with your friends and family so they can check their coins too. You never know whose pocket change might hold the next $1 million coin. Would you like me to create a short YouTube Shorts version of this same topic with a punchy opening line and quick pacing for viral reach? Have you ever wondered if one of the coins in your pocket could be worth more than a brand new house? It might sound unbelievable, but one of the most ordinary coins in America, the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel, has made headlines for being worth an incredible $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 5-cent coin that could make you rich if you know what to look for. In this video, we're diving into the full story behind the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel, its history, what makes it so valuable, and how you can identify whether you have one of these rare treasures sitting in your change. Rarest coins. Let's start with a little background. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American coinage since 1938, designed by Felix Schlag to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. On the front of the coin, you'll see Jefferson's left-facing portrait, and on the back, his Virginia home, Monticello. This design has become one of the most familiar and longest-running in U.S. history. Over the decades, millions of these nickels have been struck at different mints, including the Denver Mint, which uses the letter D to mark its coins. Now let's move to the year 1978. That year, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels. So you might wonder, how could one possibly be worth $1.5 million? The answer lies in a rare combination of factors: minting errors, die varieties, and exceptional preservation. Coins with these rare traits become incredibly valuable to collectors because they are so hard to find, and because they tell a unique story about how coins are made. One of the most valuable examples of the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel is a coin that was struck on the wrong planchet. Instead of being made on the standard copper-nickel planchet used for nickels, this particular coin was struck on a silver planchet that was left over from another minting operation. Silver planchets had not been used for nickels since the 1940s, so this was an extraordinary mistake. When experts authenticated the coin, it became clear that it was a one-of-a-kind error. Combined with its perfect condition and mirror-like surface, this 1978 D-era nickel went on to sell for around $1.5 million at auction, making it one of the most valuable modern nickels ever discovered. But even if you don't have that exact coin, other 1978 D nickels can still be worth far more than their face value. Some coins have double die errors, where the lettering or date appears slightly doubled because of a misalignment in the die during striking. Others show off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing. There are even coins that display full, sharply defined steps on Monticello, known as full steps nickels, which are especially prized among collectors. A 1978 D. Jefferson nickel with full steps in mint condition can sell for several $100s, and in rare cases, even thousands. Let's talk about the mint mark for a moment. If you flip your nickel over, you'll find the letter D on the right side of Monticello. That D stands for the Denver Mint, where these coins were made. While the majority of 1978 D nickels are common, the few that were struck with extraordinary precision or unusual errors are what every collector dreams of finding. Condition also plays a huge role. Coins that have been in circulation usually show wear and scratches, which reduces their value. However, coins kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, often referred to as mint state, can command impressive prices even without errors. So how can you tell if your 1978 D nickel might be worth a fortune? Start by checking the date and mint mark to confirm you have a 1978 D. Then, look closely at Monticello on the reverse. If the steps are clearly visible and unbroken, you might have a full steps variety. Next, check for signs of doubling on the date, the words Liberty or In God We Trust, and the edges of Monticello. An off-center strike, unusual metal color, or lighter than normal weight can also hint at a valuable minting error. If you suspect your coin is special, take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC for authentication. A certified grade and error designation can multiply its value many times over. The story of the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel shows that even coins from relatively recent years can hold incredible surprises. Most people think only old or antique coins are valuable, but modern minting errors and high-grade examples can be worth life-changing amounts. Imagine finding a 5-cent coin that could sell for more than a luxury car or even a house. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what treasures you might have until you take a closer look. The next time you're counting your change or cleaning out a drawer full of old coins, pay attention to those nickels. Check the date, look for the D mint mark, and study the details carefully. You just might be holding the next million-dollar discovery. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel and other rare coins that could be worth a fortune, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Share this video with your friends and family so they can check their coins too. Your next big find could be hiding in plain sight, and it might just be worth $1.5 million. Would you like me to create a short, high-engagement 1-minute version of this same script designed for YouTube Shorts with a strong opening hook and quick pacing? Have you ever thought that the change in your pocket might hold a hidden treasure? Well, get ready, because today we're talking about a simple 5-cent coin that could be worth an incredible $1.2 million. That's right, the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin most people spend without a second thought, has shocked collectors with a few extremely rare examples that turn out to be worth a fortune. So let's explore the history, the details, and exactly what makes some of these nickels so valuable. Let's start with a little background. The Jefferson nickel has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, it replaced the famous Buffalo nickel and became one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history. The obverse features a dignified portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and the reverse displays his Virginia home, Monticello. This design remained virtually unchanged for decades, becoming one of the most familiar coins in circulation. Now, Let's focus on the year 1985. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the letter P on the right side of Monticello, produced millions of Jefferson nickels that year. Most of them are common and worth only face value, but a small handful stand out as rare, valuable, and even legendary among collectors. The reason is simple. Errors, minting variations, and exceptional preservation point one of the most famous 1985 P. Jefferson nickels ever discovered was struck on the wrong metal planchet. Instead of being made from the usual copper-nickel blend, this particular coin was accidentally struck on a silver planchet. That should never have happened in 1985, but somehow, a leftover blank from a previous production run ended up in the presses. When the coin was authenticated, it was confirmed to be genuine, and because it was unique and perfectly preserved, collectors went wild when it hit the auction block. That coin eventually sold for a reported $1.2 million, one of the highest prices ever paid for a modern Jefferson nickel. Even if you don't have the silver planchet error, there are still many other 1985 P nickels that can be worth serious money. One thing collectors love is the full steps variety. On the back of the coin, look at Monticello. If you can clearly see 5 or 6 sharp, complete steps with no breaks, that's a full steps nickel. These are rare because most 1985 nickels were struck with worn dies or too much pressure, making the steps look weak or blurry. A 1985 P. Jefferson nickel with full steps in mint state condition can easily sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. There are also valuable error coins from this year. Some have doubling in the lettering or date, known as double die errors, where parts of the design look slightly shadowed or repeated. Others have off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, leaving part of the coin blank. There are even a few that show clipped planchets or die cracks, all of which can make a coin more desirable and valuable to collectors. Depending on the severity of the error, these coins can range in value from a few hundred to several $1,000s. So how do you know if your 1985 P. Jefferson nickel might be valuable? Start by checking the date and the mint mark. The letter P is found to the right of Monticello on the reverse side. Next, take a close look at the coin's overall condition. Coins with a bright, mirror-like finish and no visible wear are called uncirculated or mint state, and they're worth much more than those that have been used in circulation. Then, examine Monticello's steps. If they're sharp, distinct, and fully visible, you may have something special. Finally, check for any doubling in the lettering or strange details that look unusual. These might indicate an error coin that if you suspect your coin could be valuable, don't clean it or try to polish it. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. A professionally graded coin with an official certification of its condition or error can multiply its value many times over. The 1985 P. Jefferson nickel is a perfect reminder that hidden treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. Millions of people handle nickels every day without realizing that one small difference, a minting error, a unique metal composition, or a perfect strike, can turn a simple 5-cent piece into $1 million masterpiece. The thrill of coin collecting lies in these rare discoveries, and the 1985 P. nickel is one of the best modern examples of that magic. The next time you go through your change, take a moment to look carefully at your nickels. Check the date, look for the letter P, and study the fine details. You never know, your next find could be worth far more than you imagine. One coin could change your life. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel and other rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Share this video with your friends and family so they can check their coins too. You never know who might be holding the next $1 million nickel. Would you like me to write a short 60-second YouTube Shorts version of this with a fast, powerful hook to grab viewer attention right from the start?